you so much, everyone. Now, it's rightly said that the world is changing. It's changing due to technology. We have so much coming today, the world of technology. We have digitalization that's coming in, and the world is changing due to technology. We have social media, various platforms through which businesses can be promoted, digitalization, the artificial intelligence, and like I said, the entire world is changing due to that. And so, in context of it, we have none other than Ms. Shalini Shori, who will be speaking to us about the digital transformation of your business. Shalini Shori, the owner of DIGI-STATION, a startup aimed at catering to the complete ecosystem at the office premises, and this includes, but not limited to, expert advice, consultancy and solution in the space of information technology, telecom, IoT, artificial intelligence, collaboration, cybersecurity, office support, office supplies, financial planning and capital protection. A huge round of applause for Ms. Shalini Shori, who will guide us for the session of digital transformation of your business.
Thank you. Thank you, Team V, and thank you, Chaitali, for giving an opportunity. Though me and Chaitali had been talking about it for quite some time, but it was her suggestion that we do this presentation over here so that we can enable the members over here who basically would be looking in for some inputs when it comes to digital transformation. Yeah, presentation. Before we get into the presentation, just like to have an understanding from any of you as to what is your understanding when it comes to digital transformation. Because everybody is talking about it, right? Anybody? What is like digital transformation when it comes to business?
Whatever is accessible on digital platforms, like anything that's clickable and we can just accept or order by clicking. Is it?
Yeah, that's one of it.
Something that's
Basically, digital transformation, while we all have our experiences from the practical scenarios which we face on a regular basis, like when you're ordering your food, or basically when you're getting into the OTT platform, if one has to evaluate or one has to identify what exactly this digital transformation means, it is basically, it's a process where you use the digital technology to create new businesses or modify the existing businesses. We all know how COVID has changed the complete scenario, right? And with this change of scenario, right, people started thinking differently. People who were going to the movie hall started using the OTT platform. It's a content delivery platform which is being used, and that's how you are currently watching movies or web series or whatever is it at your premises. The delivery, which was basically dependent upon a delivery boy, that went into a change, and now you have platforms like Swiggy, Zomato, Uber, delivering it to your premises. You gave a rise to the aggregators like Uber, like, for example, Ola, who basically ensured that your need of traveling is being catered to. So if one has to put it in one single sentence, it is basically like reimagining your business or basically creating new ways of doing business where you are catering to your customers, but at the same time, you are catering not through the physical environment, but through the digital environment. Now, if you look into it as to how the experts are saying, this is a place which is going to grow to $2.8 billion by 2025, which is a huge scenario, a huge number. As you go further in the slides, you will see already in India, $14.5 billion have been spent on it. As I go further in the slides. Next. So if you look into it, some of the basic digital transformations which actually happened and which actually changed the world. From a global scenarios, you can have toys like Lego, DHL, Smart City, Disney. But if you look into from an India perspective, you have Paytm, you have Ola, you have Swiggy, you have Zomato, you have Borzo, the VFast. You have Grofers, you have Flipkart, you have Byju's, you have Nykaa, you have Policy Bazaar. And this list is anyways growing with the kind of startups which we are having as far as the industry is concerned. So if I look into it, that $2.8 trillion, out of which $14.5 billion was already spent in India in 2021. Go further down. Now, this is basically, when we talk about digital transformation, this is basically the entire scope revolves around the employees, the processes, the customers, and the product and services. Not only your products and services have to be put on a shopping cart, on a shopping platform. Everything has to be stitched together to see to it how the entire thing gets stitched together and you can give a good customer experience. We all know you may have influx of startups are there in India. Good amount of funding which is also happening. But at the end of the day, you are realizing the entire startup journey is it's taking off and then all of a sudden going down. And one of the reasons is, while you're attracting investment with the ideas, the most important concept is about acquiring the customers and how to live with that expectation, because this is how the entire thing is going to grow. If you have a good funding, if you have a good idea, but you're not able to capitalize with the client acquisition and customer satisfaction, so you will stay with the idea, you will stay with the funding, and after that you'll stop getting the funding because finally it's not growing anywhere. So if you look into it, the guys who have grown up, whether it is Paytm, whether it is Swiggy, I'm not sure, last 2-3 days ago, there was a news article in the newspaper. While Hindustan Unilever is saying the sales have gone down, Zomato is showing an exponential increase. So this is a new idea which showed an increase, and the way we have been doing a traditional way did not show increase as far as the books was concerned. And this is basically because one of it is growing digitally and one of it is obviously coming across digitally, but then it's a long journey they have taken, but they are not seeing the sale because the digital enablement platform is actually giving it the right edge. Further? So when you look at, see, most of you are entrepreneur and most of you will have this common problem. The first problem repeats around, everybody is competing with each other. There's a crowd. Second one is the cash flow, management of that cash flow. While you are bringing businesses, where the cash is going, everybody who is there in the SME segment is struggling with it. Not getting paid on time. You may have your corporate customers, but one of it is 45 days. Yes, there are good number of government policies are there. There are good amount of banks who are wanting to do this kind of funding. But at the end of the day, this stays with it because if you have to increase your business, you have to see to it the payment cycle gets reduced. Further down at it, there are lots of unimportant things. Businesses which are new cannot afford to have lots and lots of people hired. They need scalability, but at the same time, they cannot have outflows going out everywhere. So whoever is an entrepreneur or is starting as an entrepreneur journey, you will realize that you end up doing so many things that at the end of the day, the focus of generating revenue becomes last on the priority. That's because everything else is taking too much of time or consuming too much of time. Many times, you have influx of experts coming over and telling you, this is how you need to invest your money. This is how you need to do a digital transformation. This is how you have to have a global funding come into it. Everybody will come and tell you. But then how many times are you getting across this thing? This is how you have to grow your business. While funding, investment, then comes in, this is how you have to do the GST part of it. This is how you have to meet the compliances as far as the government is concerned. But how is it that your idea can generate into business? This is where there's a complete lack as far as the environment is concerned. And most importantly, when you are human dependent, you end up not adopting technology, but from one way person to the other, you start taking ideas. So the thing is, in the current scenario, how is it you can have a solution which you can enable yourself, which talks about how is it that you can bring convenience to the customers, how is it that you can engage digitally, how is it that you can enable the workflow, something which is not required, manpower, how is it, and I'll give you my example. I have been national and global contracts. Initially, I had lots of people working for me. I realized it's not scalable. I'm the one who is rebuilding my organization. I'm the one which is flaring. So I automated everything which can do away with the people. I need people who can think. I don't need doers. I need people who can think. And with this thinking thing, the entire digital platform helped me out. If I have to do some delivery over there in Kanyakumari or some in California, it should happen automatically. Why it should be dependent upon a human being? And then comes in reducing as much of manual intervention as possible. Go further down. So here is it, these are the kind of milestones one needs to achieve. Identify your problem. Seek resolution through consultation. The problems need to be sorted out. And the problem is, anybody who is growing or starting a journey as an entrepreneur, he has only one thing at the back of his or her mind: how is it I can generate revenue out of the effort which I am putting it on the table? And this is basically a problem statement which goes in the mind of a person. And how is it you can generate is something you have to identify. Don't get distracted when somebody comes and tell you, boss, go and prepare your website, put all your products over there. Why would people know you? 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, 50 people, 60 people knowing you, does that give you business? The answer is no. Unless and until you do something differently, things don't attract, and then finally you're not able. Amazon was also not born in a day, right? It all takes time. So start using or channelizing your energy with the end objective as to what is the kind of revenue you want for your organization or for yourself. The digitization has to be done in a phase-wise manner. Don't try to jump into everything and say, okay, I'll do everything at one go. It doesn't happen. In a startup, every day is a learning. What was important yesterday may not be important today. So if you have invested everything, assuming the next 5 years, this is how my business has to be and the entire digital thing has to happen like this way, doesn't happen in a practical scenario. Go step by step, learn from the mistakes, and then take it forward from there. In this way, you will not invest all your money at one go, but you will actually invest gradually, but keep the focus on the customers at the back of mind. I can be a customer, a large corporate can be a customer, a global customer. It depends upon which segmentation you want to go. Go further down. And your objective to yourself should be well defined. And this is when we took up this journey as DIGI-STATION. We had all the three segments at the back of our mind. One was small enterprises who were basically looking in for very small support in terms of starting their journey of because I have an experience or because I have a background of IT and telecom, that's where, my entire large customer focus were there. This is where, the solution, the products have to be designed in such a way that it actually helps in optimizing their cost. You must be reading every second day. During this COVID scenario, Apple, Microsoft, Google, they made the most of the money. Take out last 15 days newspaper. They are the only one who are throwing out people. You did not make money, I did not make money. Many people did not make money at all, but the people who made money are actually throwing out people. And this is something, one needs to think through. And the reason is, at that particular time, when it was a way, they started deploying lots of contractual workers. Today, that contractual worker is no longer needed. So just move out. Instead of getting into that zone, as a startup, don't invest everything. Your investment, your time is much more important than anything else. And every money which you should spend, every hour which you should spend, you have to quantify it with the kind of revenue you can generate for yourself. So as we are into this particular space, the first is basically to enable. So in case if anybody is looking for an enablement in this particular space, yes, we are there. If large enterprise, anyways, people know us, so we have been operating in this space. Previously, I was working with large organizations like Tata's and entities of the world. Today, I am an entrepreneur. So obviously, this is how it is. The third one is segmentation. You define a particular product, and you need to figure it out, where is it I'm supposed to sell this product? Enabling the segmentation. Not every product is for everybody, but there is a mass audience which needs that product. And this is the entire way we have been doing it through digital transformation. Next. So this is only there from my end. If anybody needs any more around it, I'm always available. We have our website, we have phone numbers. Next slide. Next. This is not needed. So this is how it is. We have our, and while we are not, so our focus is all across content delivery platform, OTT platform. This we have been doing it, and I'm proud to say in this particular thing, my association is only with one organization, which is Tata. Today, when you see your broadcast on your television, be it Amazon, be it Google, most of them use the network of the Tatas to actually enable you into getting that platform on your televisions as of now. Or say, for example, Netflix and all. These are the large customers which Tatas have, and we work along with them only into enabling our customer.
What an insightful session by Ms. Shalini Shori. A huge round of applause, everyone. All right, I would like to call upon Ms. Chaitali on stage to kindly felicitate Ms. Shalini Shori. Sorry, Shalini ma'am, you need to be on stage again. We need to felicitate you. May I please call upon Ms. Chaitali to kindly felicitate Ms. Shalini Shori. A huge round of applause, everyone. Also, I would like to call upon Ms. Shalini Prabhakar. Ms. Sharon Prabhakar on stage. I'm sorry. Can I please call upon Ms. Sharon Prabhakar on stage?